Hi, this is Claire again, and I've talked about translating the book, but actually I've never introduced the book itself to you. Magical Healing, published by Llewellyn, Folk Healing Techniques from the Old World. And this book originally appeared in, or was published in German as Magische Heilkunst. And this is from 2013. And with this book I had a dream. I wanted to publish this knowledge in English too. I've written several books, but yeah, they are about witchcraft, they are about white magic, they are about several topics, living witchcraft, all these things in everyday life. But this is really unique, and you can apply this knowledge whether you are Christian, whether you are into witchcraft, whether your spiritual way is another one. This is not so important, because this is a knowledge of our ancestors, and they had their very unique mixture of yes, of Christian things too, because this is a very long time when this was a ruling religion. This is about old spells, about magic, about gods, about plant knowledge, and it spans so many generations. So you can apply this knowledge. It's not important which is your personal spiritual path. And yeah, let's have a look into it. And you will see these are different traditional parts of healing that are talked to here. First we talk about healing past, present, what was advisable in the past, what is good now, how we can translate the old knowledge into today, because we are living today, and there is nothing about trying to reinvent history or things like that. It is about applying it now, because our ancestors also lived in now. It was there now. Yeah, we go on with, let's have a look. We go on with the question, who can heal? Do you have to be a special person? Do you have to be chosen in some way? Do you have to have special abilities, special knowledge? What is the factor? What are the things that make you a good healer? Yeah, and of course matters of attitude, how to approach healing, how to see, yeah, how to think about it, what it is like to heal, and what is possible and what is not possible, and how to be realistic but also positive. This is the thing about in this chapter. And also perils and risk. This is the next section, and this is important because you also see it in hospitals, and with the I call it regular medicine. You will know allopathic, I think, in English. There are also risks. Many, for example, psychotherapists, they battle with depression and things like that, because it is what was called by our ancestors the jumping over of illnesses. So if a healer is not very conscious about it and has preventions against it, then it is possible that what you treat in your patients and what you try to eliminate, that this, when it comes free from your patient, it jumps over to you and attacks you. These are very, very old ways of thinking. They are, to my opinion, they are in our shamanic heritage. They are rooted there, and they are alive today in folk magic healing too. This is universal knowledge, and it also applies to normal doctors, so to say, because they face these situations too, and they are sometimes also reluctant to have special some patients where they feel something come to me that is not very good. So healing in this book, I don't make borders, so to say, between these are normal doctors, this is hospital and all these things, and these are the alternative ways, because it is all one. And from my profession as a witch and as a tarot reader, I know many doctors, normal doctors, so to say, and many of them are very interested in spiritual healing, in energy work, in the whole picture, so to say. And it is not like that they are they are just into their thing and everything else is a little bit, you know, not so normal, so to say. No, they are really interested in it, and it will be, in my opinion, for our future, it will be very important to build bridges between those things, that we do not only treat the body, where Western medicine is very, very good. We owe very much to this. It is very, very helpful. But we also have to treat the mind and the soul. And there, folk magic can be a bridge, one of many, but an important maybe. So you have to take a look yourself and see what it brings for you. Yes, and this is about restoring your energy. We have methods of protection. We have cleaning the energy, how you can, after doing healing work, or maybe after working in a hospital as a nurse or as a doctor, what you can do after your working day to come back into your balance, to find your middle again. Yeah. And then things about how the source of healing energy is the next chapter. And this is, how does healing power work? Where does it come from? Because in healing magic, it's sometimes that people just want to heal and they do rituals and all of these things, but they never ask themselves the question, where does it come from? So here are some thoughts on this, and then we go on to healing beings. And this is not just about traditional beings in Germany, in Middle Europe, so to say, because you cannot just say Germany. Of course, this is most German knowledge, but Germany is in the middle of Europe, so everyone came through. Yeah, there was so much exchange over the centuries. You cannot say this is genuinely German. We have Slavic influences, we have Roman influences, we have Germanic influences, we also have Celtic influences. And everyone who came through too, yes, so to say. So this was much exchange, this was much knowledge through trading, war, also exchange knowledge in some way. For example, in the book we have the world wars, where many people when they were wounded and so on, many healers, traditional healers who were also fighting, they healed their comrades and things like that. So these are many stories I have put here too, so you have also a frame. Where does it come from? What is the cultural and history behind everything? So back to the healing beings. Yeah, we have, for example, Apollo, Hermes, Baba Yaga also, but also people, beings, people in some way, but let's call it beings, like Bastet, Baobo, Bridget, of course, Cernunnos and Herne, but I also put in people like Eshu, or not people, beings like Eshu, because I wanted to give you all. Yeah, I could have been strictly. I could have said I only take in Slavic, Roman, classical beings from the Antike and from ancient times, but you know, I want you to find your helper, and when your helper comes from a different cultural background, I want you to find him too, and then you can go deeper and you can explore these ways. It's always about who rings a bell with me. Where is the I don't know if this is consistent in English to say like this, but you know, there is an inner bell ringing, and you recognize something. There is you get something back, and you know, this being will be of help with me, and I will go into a deeper connection, into a deeper relationship, and we will have a good time and we will work healing. So I did not want to exclude maybe very helpful and very powerful beings for you just to be in one cultural frame. Yeah, this is where I opened up to be of help, because healing is when it works. This is also a very old sentence in German, who heals is right. Yeah, then you don't talk about matters or approaches or about pantheons and things like that. Who heals is right. The outcome is a thing that shows you got it. And this is something that you also have, for example, in Siberian shamanism and things like that, and spiritual paths. They are always about what can you do, what is what you get out of it. And when it's good, then the method is good, go on. Do not talk too much about theory. When practice works, things are fine, so to say. Yeah, I also have Frau Holle, in English Mother Holle. Fata Morgana, Fee Morgane, Morgane le Fay, the fairies, the fates, the beings of destiny, which have also in fairy tales, we also have it in the name fairy tale, you also have them as healing beings, destiny beings also as healing beings. We have Freya, we have the guardian angel, Hecate, Isis, kobold and house spirits, who can also, they can take your luck away from you if you don't treat them well, so you can become ill. So they are very important to think about when it goes to healing magic. We have Mother Mary, the Christian goddess, so to say, because she is very, very important in folk magic healing. We have, yes, I also added Sarah Lakali, the triple goddesses under their many, many names like matrons, fates, urme, die Nonnen, or Norns in English, Morie, Fati, die Mumen, the Bess, die Schicksalsfrauen, the women of fate, and all of them, you can find them here. And then we come in the next chapter to the right time. Timing was very important in healing. Of course, when you have an emergency, you treat it immediately. This is just like it is in normal medicine. And today, many of us can go to the doctor. I don't know what it's like in your country. I know this is very different in the US. For example, in Germany we have health insurance for everyone, and this is put on many shoulders. So you can just go to the hospital, you don't have to care about money or things like that. This is very different systems worldwide. So from German point of view, I can say just go to the hospital whenever you feel right and much ill. But if you have time, you can use this and have magical timing. This is about the days of the week, the old knowledge about them. There is also much relationship to the planets, classical 7 planets in the week. So this is real folk knowledge. We have, of course, the moon. This is, if you are coming from witchcraft, you know much about the moon. And yes, this is about waning moon, waxing moon. It is about the rulerships of the signs of the zodiac in the body and all of these things. Yeah, and then we have part 2. This was like a primer first. You get to know everything you need to know. And now we get into practice. And this is the tools of the trade and practice, part 2. We talk about healing techniques like blowing, like böten or blessing or praying off. We talk about drawing through, egg applications. Egg magic is known almost everywhere around the globe. Working with eggs to heal, to draw out illnesses. You know it from Russia, you know it from Mexico, you know it from Africa. Here in our culture, in Germany, in Middle Europe, it is very known too. So this is worldwide egg application. So we talk about this. We talk about, of course, also exercise, sources of strength and relaxation, because yeah, you cannot just heal and heal and heal when you are going on to do things that deplete your energy. So we have to talk about this too. This is too a very important part of healing, because some people think I just need to get the strongest healer and everything will be okay. This is difficult when you are still depleting your energy. Yeah, this is like a bottle with no bottom, so to say. It will fall out everything, so you have to work on the bottom, so to say. Yeah, we talk about laying on of hands, about light, air and sun. This is something my granny was very fond about. You have to go out in the sun, you have to go out in the under the sun, so you will be okay again. I'm talking about this. Pegging or plugging. We're talking about turning, visualization, which was also important to our ancestors. This is nothing new or fancy. This is very old knowledge. We talk about tying or fastening, all these techniques, wiping off and removing and writing off. Also a very old and nice technique. Then we come to magical spells and the power of words, and these are really old spells. They are real healing spells. You know, this is not just something I invented for the books. These are old and in parts ancient spells. So you can work with them. I have spells for afflictions, for atrophy, for bladder infections, for blood blessing, and I explain to you what blood blessing is. For burns, of course, and burns where in the past this was very important. We have many spells for burns. You can take them for any hot illness or inflammations and things like that. They are very versatile, these spells. I also have a spell on cancer. Of course, we have to take this very serious. This is nothing to stop your normal treatment, just to say spells. But I have to say this, I have included this as an addition. Yeah, if it helps just one person, it was helpful. So I put this in. I have something against cold and fevers. Of course, this was a very, very big issue in the past where they had no medicine that was, for the more severe cases, that was helpful. We have dislocations, sprains, joint problems and things like that, dizziness, eczema, the evil eye and jinxing things. If you are in any way of folk magic, you will come across these things, and they are really important. It is also about, let's say, the energy of envy, and this energy can really hurt. This is not just belief, superstition or anything like that. This has its energy, so you can deal with that with the old formula. We have female troubles, we have growth, we have gout, rheumatism and similar pain, we have headaches, muscle tension, hardening and knots, nightmares, rash, the rose, soothing pain in general, toothache, stress and similar conditions. We have universal banishing and preventions. Warts, they are a real big topic until today, because there is not a certain formula found by normal medicine to treat warts. They come back and come back again. Yeah, you might get them off, but they are coming back, so you can try this. And worms, and what worms were, they are more like spirits of illness, so to say, that are nagging on you. So what to do about them? Yeah, and then we come to powerful plants. And there is, I have also included when you are pregnant, there we have a little label. Not every plant is advisable when you are pregnant, so we are very cautious here. We have Angelica, we have anise, and anise, it was very funny. When you are translating a book, then there are of course always idioms and things you are not aware of, because they are so usual in your language. And when I was talking with my editor about this, I had a sentence in this directly translated from German. You can use anise to lure your man from behind the oven. And she was like, what are you talking about? And yeah, to lure someone from behind the oven means to be attractive to him again. Yeah, it is like pictorial speaking. The person is behind the oven and is sitting there and is not interested in anything, and you are getting attractive again, and the person's like, "Ooh, I'm coming from behind the oven. What's with you? What's up with you?" So to say, yeah. So we had a lot of fun working on this, and this stuck to my mind because it was so funny when we were translating it. So I have Aphrodite's anise rings here. I also have recipes in these plant chapter, and like the anise rings, they are also culinary recipes, because eating and healing was one thing in the past. Yeah, so it is not just about drinking tea and detoxing and doing all things like that. Yeah, it is not like you need to have a halo in any way. It is about normal life, and there are also recipes for sweets, for treats, for all this lovely stuff, because as we say in German, eating and drinking brings body and soul together. So yeah, this is also about real life, real magic, you know, not just being holy in some way. Yeah, we have basil. We also have anise schnapps, if you like it. So it's really it's normal stuff for normal people, as our ancestors were normal people. We have the birch, we have calendula, we have camilla, we have cleavers, we have lavender, cowslip, common and wild thyme. So you see by this list, I did not put in fancy plants that no one knows, that you are not getting very easy somewhere, or you cannot plant for yourself. This was about the good and the yeah, things, plants everyone can get, so you can work with it and not just being fancy with plants. Nobody knows, oh, I have something that's so fancy. No, this is to work with, yeah? It is not about being in any way, yeah, exclusive or something like that. It's folk magic, and folk magic is inclusive. So we have dandelion, we have elder, very important. We have English walnut leaves, also with schnapps for the skin. Not for drinking, it's not so nice, but it is very, very good if you have skin problems. We have hawthorn, horsetail, very important plant, lady's mantle and yarrow. They are like the duo for any female issue. Yes, we have linden blossoms, very good for relaxation, for sleeping. We have mint, mugwort, of course, it's one of the oldest holy plants. When they found very old graves like 5,000 years ago next to here, and where I live in Germany, they also find mugwort into them. So this is a very, very, very old plant in healing, in shamanism, in yeah, everything to do to connect things in a spiritual way, in a good way. Yeah, we have of course the oak, yeah, German oak tree. We have a saying in German stands like an oak, so to say. So oak tree is also important in healing and is wonderful for your skin and all things like that. We have oregano and marjoram. We have sage, of course. We have stinging nettle, a wonderful detoxing plant. It is really lovely with a recipe. Difficult word in English. We say Rezept in German for stinging nettle pancakes, so you can have fun with it, you can eat it, it's not just about making tea. We have St. John's wort, of course, a lovely plant. We have valerian, and then we have techniques for using herbs. It's tea itself and oil with dried herbs. It's oil infused with fresh herbs, essential oils, baths, incense, amulets, and spiritual possibilities to work with plants. Yeah, then we come to magical stones and more. And for example, we here have ammonites, because today, when it comes to healing stones, we are always thinking about crystals. Yeah, amethyst and like for example, rock crystal, all of these things. But our ancestors, they were more about fossils and things like that when it came to healing stones. So we talk about fossilized ammonite belemnites. We talk about jet, what is black amber called, but it is jet, of course, which is also fossilized in origin. We have hematite, called bloodstone in German, Blutstein. So this is, yeah, also good for the blood and for other things too. We have snake stones and snake eggs, which are these ones here. So this is also of fossil origin. Yeah, fossilized sea urchin. So we have included pictures so you know what they are, because they are not so common today, and it's better to know what you, yeah, to see it so you really know, this is it. Because in folk language they have many different names, so it's sometimes they always have the same name, like snake egg is a very, very common name for lots of healing stones. They are very different, so we have included pictures, you know what you have to take. We have tongue stones, which are fossilized shark teeth. Yes, the magical duo turquoise and coral. Fossilized coral, which is called a jinx stone in German, which is very good if you have problems in this way. People are not good to you or jealous or bad in any way. These are very, very helpful stones. We have Hexe stones, which are called chicken gods in German, Hühnergötter. And what is about this? We have kalk or chalk, red stones, yes, and bricks or masonry of special buildings like churches and things like that, which was very popular in the past to do healing work with. We have metal, of course. There I always remember my grandmother when I bumped into something and she came with the biggest kitchen knife she had. And at first I thought she wanted to put it out with a knife, and I was, Granny, no. But she was putting it in, and the metal was taking out the pain. And this was my first memory of working with metal in healing matters. So yes, it was very impressive to me what she did at this time. But you don't forget it, yeah. And it always worked. The pain was outside. Then Yes, and then in the last part of the book, I have a few tips for getting started. So what to do to start? Where can I, when I have a problem, where can I start to put all these things I have mentioned in the book together? To make it a round thing, how can I do my healing from this? So which, for example, questions, which spiritual power or presence do I want to bring aboard? Are there certain stone I would like to use? Do I wish to use a spell? And all these things. And so you can put together a magical cure for your personal problem to make it go away. Yeah, this is also about, there is a little section about distance healing, which was known to our ancestors too. For example, when there was a healer and he was living 3 villages abroad, and someone was very ill and he could not go to the healer, a person of the family would go to the healer and say, hey, there's a problem, and the healer would do a distance healing. So this is nothing new, this is nothing about the internet or something like that that is new and fancy. This is very old knowledge, and people did it in the past too. Yeah, and then we have a little appendix explaining old words of healing, like sympathy, antipathy, and magnetism, and how it was meant. And at the end you also find a bibliography if you want to go further. Many of the titles are in German, but I've also found that some titles are also out in English, so you can go deeper if you would like to. Yeah, so this is my book, Magical Healing. Now I introduced it to you. I wish you much fun. If you own the book, please let me know. Please write your comments. I would like to hear about how it has helped you and how you like it, and yeah, what you like about it and what you don't like about it maybe too. There's nothing that cannot make me better, as we say in Germany. So yeah, I hope you like it and it helps you, and no matter which is your personal spiritual way, I think it can be applied in any way. It is not embedded in one system of faith. So I wish you all the best, and this is my book, Magical Healing. Yeah, and now you know about it.